Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you so much for being connected again today with us. Welcome to a new session of the Process Professor. My name is Kevin. I will be with you during this session, and I am really happy that you are with us today. Today we will be talking about a really exciting topic, a topic that we have been working and we have been actually giving a lot of attention in the last couple of months, right? And it's basically how in Bizagi or how you will be able to democratize reporting for citizen developers. Probably, I don't know if you have the opportunity to actually be part of previous process professor sessions, we have been talking about a little bit about citizen developers. Today we will reinforce and we will talk again about why this is so important, why citizen developers are getting so much attention in the markets right now. And especially today, we will be focusing about or how actually we can use the citizen developers for democratizing our reporting. If this is the first time for you being in this Process Professor session, welcome. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Kevin Guerrero. I have been working in Bizagi for more than almost 9 years. And I am actually the process professor. The way on how we have a structure and the way on how we have created this program called Process Professor is to provide a space for our customer and our community, our partners, everyone that is interested to learn something new about Bizagi, where you can just join completely for free once a month. We're doing this Process Professor session once a month. Exactly, we're doing this every second Thursday of the month. So this is going to be our May session. And the next session that you are more than welcome to join is going to be on June, and exactly is going to be June 11th. So next week on our web page, you will have the opportunity to find additional information about the topic that we will be discussing next month, and you will be able to register at any moment. How the Process Professor program works. So the idea is that in these sessions that we're going to have just 1 hour to do the whole session, well, we can use our time in three main sections. The first section is where I will be talking about one particular topic, where I will be showing you important statistics, numbers, concepts, and relevant information for you about the topic that we select for that session. The next part of our process professor will be like a live demonstration where I will be showing you how using our platform, how using our Bizagi, one platform for every process, you will be able to put on practice or to use the topic that we discussed at the beginning. And at the end, the last 20-25 minutes, it will depend on the topic and on the live demonstrations that we have. We will have a free space to solve any question, to get any feedback, any query that you get. It is completely free for you to participate and to let me know what you got. Please take into account, and this is really important for everyone to keep in your mind, the last section of our Process Professor, that is where you can talk, where you can ask. It doesn't have to be limited to the topic that we're talking in that session. That means if today we're talking about citizen developers and reporting, right? It doesn't mean that at the end you just can ask about citizen developers and reporting. No, the idea is that at the end you have a free time, and if you got a question about connectors, or if you got a question about a widget, or if you had a question on a business rules, you can ask any question that you want about that. Okay, so let's start with our topic today, and let's start taking a look to the agenda and the information that we will be exploring today. So the topic that we will cover on this session is called Democratizing Reporting for Citizen Developers. And the main idea of this, the main point that I would like to highlight for you is that we will be talking about, we will be discussing why reporting is so important when you are getting digital transformation programs. If at some point your organization, your company decide to get into a digital transformation program, it is amazing that you can actually get it, or that you can start automating your processes in a simple way. But if you do not have a reporting or a control strategy for those processes being automated, at some point you are going to just get out of the path, and probably you are going to start getting problems. So we're going to understand why reporting is so important. We are going to talk about something that we're leading in the market and that we have been saying a lot, and it is please join the citizen developer revolution. We will be talking about why these citizen developers are getting so much attention, why they are so important, and specifically for our today topic, we will be talking about how the different type of citizen developers that we can have in a company can provide different services, and we can use them to help us to achieve all the objectives that we have. We will see that we will not have just one simple citizen developer. We have a full spectrum of citizen developers, and we can define every single one in a different way. And finally, we will see and we will understand how Bizagi provides different features to actually democratize the reporting for the citizen developers. So let's start our session with one first important study and one important result that we found from a study that was conducted by Deloitte, right? One of the biggest consultancy companies in the world. And they were actually in some way worried about the reporting. They were worried about the time that organizations and companies invest in creating these dashboards and reportings and numbers. And they found the following important facts. They say, when we survey 600 global finance leaders on management reporting, we uncovered this fact. Companies surveyed spend 48% of their time creating and updating reports versus just an 18% spent on communicating with the business. That means we are expending a lot of time just creating and updating the reports, and a few time just communicating this information with the business. And one of the things that they also found is that the main reason to think about improving internal managing reporting is the quality and is the promise of better decisions. So one of the things that we just identified with this study and that we realize is that definitely we need to provide a better way and a better path to provide information to the business so they can create reports in an easier way, and not only create reports in an easier way, but actually consume that information and then change that 48% that we are spending in just creating the reports and invest more time communicating the information that we found relevant in our organization to the whole business. One of the things that we have identified with some of our customers is that when customers define or decide to start digital transformation journeys, they have one first step that is where they go and define what are the things that they want to improve, right? So they say, hey, I just identified that this process is not efficient. I just identified that I have a bottleneck. I just identified that some of my resources are not are overused, right? And I need to do something. And they start doing the full digital transformation journey. But we also have identified that some customers forget to include reporting systems in the digital transformation to be or to start on track of how the process is being executed, if we have any opportunity to improve and how we can do it. So one of the things that we just communicate to some of the customers and that we are saying to them is you need to include, and reporting must be an essential part of your digital transformation journey. You cannot just worry about automating your processes and that's it. No, yes, let's worry about automating them, but let's keep a continuous improvement cycle all the time. That we are able to just define that if my process is ready today, then in 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, I'm going to have a meeting where I'm going to review my controls, my key KPIs, and understand if I am doing exactly what I want, or if I have opportunities to improve my process. We have identified that having this little piece of reporting in your digital transformation journey provides multiple benefits. Like which ones? One of the first ones that we saw is that it helped us to improve the visibility in the whole organization. If we include, or if reports are an important part of our journey, we have a comprehensive business intelligence understanding. we know, we understand, and we are able to see as a whole how my business is being executed, how my business is actually doing in a daily basis. I can identify with better visibility what are the problems that I am having, what are maybe the bottlenecks, what are the rework points that I have on my process, and how I can improve it. The second main benefit that we're able to see at this point is basically, and it is definitely something that it will be the increase of the communication. If you have the data, right, because once that you automate your processes, data will be collected every single day. On a daily basis, you got data. But you need to know how to use that data on your site, how to make this data your best ally to actually get the most of the data that you got. And one of the things that we can have is actually better communication or increase the communication. If your digital transformation program, and mostly it happens when you are having this, are getting amazing and stunning results on, for example, the decrease of the time or the decrease of the utilization of resources, or for example, you are able to deliver a new product in a much faster way and in a, half of the time before, you need to communicate this. And when you got the data visible and easy to access, you can increase this communication in the organization. And finally, the last big benefit that we saw when we're having reportings as part of our journey is definitely the opportunity, the golden opportunity to improve the analysis and the decision making. Sometimes we can take some decisions thinking or making some analysis of what we think, right? Okay, yeah, I think that maybe if we change point A with point B, the process will get better. But now that we got the data, now that the information is being stored every single day, every single minute, every single case for every single client, the best way on how we can do better analysis, deeper analysis, and take better decisions is using that data. And now doing our reporting. So now that we understand how or why it's so important, the reporting, now the second part that I want to tell you and to actually show you is how can we connect the importance of this reporting with the initiative that we're leading in the market, that is leading the citizen developer revolution. So the citizen developer revolution is something that we have been working in Bizagi for a while. And there are many ways on how Bizagi is actually working to become citizen developer programs, right? Something that you can implement easily in your organization, and that with the help of citizen developers, you can actually automate and transform everything that you got on your organization into automated apps. So what is this citizen developer revolution? Why is so important, and how this is connected with the reporting, with the democratization of reportings that we got? So Gartner was mentioning before, right, that the 61% of all the organization have or plan to have an active citizen developer initiatives. That means it's not something that it is that we think that it can happen. No, it is happening right now. And it is something that we need to pay attention. And that's why Bizagi has been working so hard to provide in our one platform for every process, multiple options, multiple features, multiple tools for you to create those citizen developer programs, grow those programs, and actually get into a point where you can have a really good maturity on citizen developer programs. And even though this is amazing and this is something that it has been great, take a look that even Gartner once said that on the 2023, right, the number of citizen developers that we are going to find in organizations will be at least 4 times as the number of the professional developers. So we need to understand them. We need to see how we can grow them, and we need to provide tools to actually have citizen developer programs. And take a look, even though that this sounds amazing, that this is actually something really nice and something that we have been working and leading in the market, we need to clarify a couple things that are some misconceptions on the market, right? One of the things right now about the citizen developers is that everyone is saying that citizen developers is the greatest thing since the internet, right? That is going to solve absolutely all the problems in the world. And one big misconception that we're having about citizen developers is that everyone, absolutely everyone, even your nana, can actually or should be able to come and automate processes. And you know what? I don't know if your nana is as cool as the one that we're seeing here on the production, but my nana for sure doesn't have the skills to actually to transform processes into apps. For sure, she is not able. She is still struggling to how do a FaceTime with the family. So she will not be able. So we need to clarify that this misconception. We are not expecting that our nana can come here and actually start doing process automation. Something that is actually completely defined and something that we need to take into account is that when we're talking about citizen developers, we are talking about subject matter experts. What is the meaning of this? Is that if we want to have someone in our company as a citizen developer, that person must be a subject matter expert. It means that the experience that that person has, the time that they have been working in the organization is for so long, or the knowledge that they have is so good that they know everything about the daily activities that they execute, and they can be our perfect allies to be citizen developers. But subject matter expertise is what is going to turn regular business users or regular business employees into citizen developers. It's not that everyone can be. No, we need something, and that something it is the subject matter expertise. If they have, come on, we can just do it. Something important and something that I want to also use as an example here and to clarify what we're seeing here is, hey, you know what, guys? I was reading a couple things when I was preparing this presentation, and I found something pretty nice and something that I wanted to actually share with you, because I think it's an excellent way to understand this part of the citizen developers. And it's, hey, anyone can go to IKEA, right? And you can buy a furniture, or you can buy a desk, and you can build your IKEA desk without any problem if you follow the instructions. But that doesn't mean, or that doesn't make you a carpenter, right? You finish with an end desk, with a furniture, with a chair. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you are a carpenter. Exactly the same thing is happening when we're talking about with our citizen developers. The fact that citizen developers can help us to actually accelerate the transformation of our processes, it doesn't mean that they are going to be professional developers. It doesn't mean that we don't need any more professional developers. No, we need them. They are an essential key for us. But now what we're having is that we don't need 2,000 carpenters to do 2,000 chairs. Now, why if instead of that, we just leave the job to the carpenters, to the really complicated ones, and then simple desks or simple chairs, we could just go to IKEA and buy to do. So this is because I just want that you understand that this is not that citizen developers will basically replace everything that we have right now. No, this is going to be a teamwork. This is something that we saw as actually that when we are able to join the citizen developer revolution, these professional developers that has been struggling a lot because they are excellent. They are the ones that has the technical knowledge. They are the ones on how they can transform really complex or really sophisticated processes into apps, but they are not enough. They don't have enough bandwidth to cover all the requests that we got inside of an organization. So the other way on how we can support these professional developers is actually enlist the support of an army of citizen developers. So if we are able to take out all that simple and let's say not too sophisticated processes from the queue or from the pending list of the professional developers right now, then with that simple fact, we're giving now more time for professional developers to focus on sophisticated and really complicated elements that we got over there. And the thing is, and the main fact about this one is because of this. If you take a look in every single company, the structure that we're going to have is something like this. On this end, right, where we got the sophisticated point, what we see is that we have really, really few people. Which ones? Our professional developers. Few people with really technical knowledge, but not enough to cover all the requests. But if we start moving to the left, right, then we are going to start finding more and more and more and more people. These are going to be our potential citizen developers. And these are going to be the ones that we can actually give, right, the power to start getting or to start changing the information and take care of those tactical processes that probably are not going to require too much complexity, but that will solve a lot of daily problems. And something important over here is that we're not going to talk about just one citizen developers. In this tactical section where we got all of this, we don't have just one. We have a full spectrum of citizen developers. And the spectrum are the ones that we're going to be able to see it here. In this session, in this session that we have today, we're going to talk about specifically about just one type of this spectrum of citizen developers, and are the ones that we talk about, the citizen specialists. But what I want to show you here, it is think about the different type of people that you work on and try to identify which type of potential citizen developer they can be. We have different ones. The first one, that is the one that we got here, is like the end user, any simple end user. These are going to be potential citizen developers that can start doing really, really simple apps, right? Where, for example, we just require authorization or something that we need to have a track, and they are going to have elements and tools with no code at all. If we move a little bit on the spectrum, then we will be able to actually find something that are going to be like the power users. These are going to be users that now can use or that can have tools with low code. So they will be able to start doing a little bit more sophisticated apps, not yet maybe an enterprise app, something more like a departmental or a workgroup app, but they can do something more advanced. Then we can have the business developers. These are going to be business users. Again, we're not talking yet about IT or developer users, but these are users that have a little bit more of knowledge, technical knowledge, right? And these are going to be the ones that we have or that we can provide something that we call low code class. So it is, yes, it's low code with a lot of wizards, with a lot of assistance, but still they will need to do something else. Then we got into our IT, our professional developers, the high class, the ones that will take care of the enterprise apps, the most sophisticated elements, and the ones that will help us with low code, no code, hard code, everything that they want to do, they will be able to do. And for today's session, we will be talking about, focusing about this one. That is that on the last and on the other end of our spectrum, we got the ones that are called citizen specialists. These are going to be people that are really familiar with one particular aspect. As for example, they can be citizen data specialists or the citizen data scientists or reporting or automating. Whatever it is people that, again, they are not IT, they are business users, but they have this expertise on one particular topic. And the ones that we will be talking about, connecting basically the reporting part with our revolution, are the citizen specialists, specifically the ones that are going to be the data scientists or the ones for the reporting. So what kind of things we are going to provide in Bizagi for these kind of users to allow them to democratize the reports? So for the citizen specialist, Bizagi provides a set of reports that are ready to use. Reports that are out of the box. That means you don't have to do anything at all. These citizen specialists just need to get into the place, review the reports, and start extracting the information and the data that it will be relevant to them. These are going to be reports that will provide information in real time, right? These are going to be reports that are going to actually provide information about ongoing cases, but at the same time about cases that has been closed. So everything that we just got there will be available for them. We are going to provide to them reports that allow the citizen specialists or citizen reporting to control and to review the resource monitor. How are we doing with my resources? If I am a manager, if I am a lead, if I am a director, and I have a team under my control, then I will be able to see how my team is being working with the process. If we have, I don't know, someone that is overloaded or someone that will need help, I will be able to do it from that. And also, we are going to provide, or we're going to have the option to create specific filters based on the status or based on different dimensions that you can create. This section of reporting is something that is available for absolutely all our customers, are ready to use. You don't have to do anything at all. It's out of the box, and you can find 3 main sections here. BAM, that stands for Business Activity Monitoring, Analytics, and finally, Sensors. Every single section will provide different tools, different information, different reports for you. When we're talking about the BAM, Business Analytic Monitoring, we're talking about all the information of the ongoing cases. That means I will be able to see what is happening with my processes, what is happening with my activities, and what is happening with my resources right now in every single moment of time that I want. And I will be able to see all the information of cases that are still running. If I move to the second section, that it will be the analytics, then I will be able to understand and to analyze all the information of my closed cases. So here, I will be able to just go and see what happened on the past, everything that has been complete, how it was complete. So I will be able to see information about processes and activities. Finally, I will have one last section that will allow me to see sensors. And in these sensors, I will be able to create customized indicators to understand much better how I am doing in my process. I will be able to create counters, and I will be able to create stopwatches. These features are available and has been available in our product from a while, but it is important for you to know. Now, following our strategy of the citizen developer revolution, and seeing that this is so important and is getting so much attention, and that we definitely need to provide other tools to democratize our reportings, I am really happy to present and to announce in this moment something new that we have been including or that we have added into our product. This is going to be available in the next version that will be available pretty soon. If you keep track on our webpage, you will see in the following weeks when this version will be released, and basically is a new type of entities that we're going to have in our projects or in our platform that are called the runtime entities. What are these runtime entities? What are these going to be this new element that we're adding? So these runtime entities are a new type of entities that we're going to have in Bizagi. If this is maybe your first time seeing something about Bizagi, entities, it is a concept that we use in our product to refer to the place where we store the information, right? So imagine this as table. One table where you say, I want to store the information of clients. So you define the table and its columns. Those are entities. So now what we're giving to you, what we're giving to our community and to our users are new tables that contains internal information of the execution of processes. So that means that with these new entities, you will have the opportunity to access and to review information or cases information in a really, really easy way. And one of the great advantages of this is that now with this information, we can improve reports that are even generated by third-party tools, including the information that we have over here. Inside of these entities, you are going to have information about, for example, when the case was created, when an activity was created, who is the user assigned to one particular activity, when was the execution date of an activity. All this information was available before in our system. We have been storing this information always, all the time. But before, if we want to get this information, it was required to have someone that was an expert in databases, for example, to execute complex queries with join, with, multiple elements to get the data that we got here. So what we say is, hey, you know what? Yeah, we definitely need to provide better tools, easier ways to get or to obtain the information that we have that. So instead of actually making that our users go and execute complex queries into the database, we're taking all this information out into simple tables, into simple entities that you can access really, really easy. And what additional great news is that the benefit of using these entities, these runtime entities, is not just for reporting. It is not that we're just improving the reporting option with these entities. No, additional of this, these entities will be available for you in every single step that we got in the automation journey. So if you want to add this information of the information of runtime entities in your forms, you can do it. If you want to use them to apply complex logic in business rules, you can do it. If you want to generate document template now using this information, now it's possible. If you want to send notification emails to your users, you can include now information of the runtime entities. And finally, if you are having integration with web services or even connectors, you can have it here. So now we are giving this new feature to our community so you can use it not only to improve your report, but also to include this relevant information in every single step of your automation journey. So now let me go pretty quickly, right, to the journey, right, or to show you how these options, how these tools works live in our products. Take into account that here I am talking about just two main features: reports, out of the box, ready to use, in time, real time, right? All the information. And the second one, runtime entities. So I'm going to start first with the out of the box report. Let me show you where they are located, how can you use it, and what is the information that is available over there. So our reports that are out of the box are available always, every single time that you create a process, every single time that you start doing your automation, they will be available by default in the Bizagi work portal, and specifically in the report section. Here, we're going to find the three sections that we saw in the presentation. BAM, business activity monitoring, everything for ongoing cases, analytics, everything for closed cases, and sensors. So I'm going to show you some of them just to show you the information that is being presented. So if I go to the business activity monitoring, remember ongoing cases, information that is still, or cases that are still running, I am going to be able to see information about my process, my activities, or my resource monitor. And these are going to be the type of reports that you will be able to see. So if you have multiple processes, you will be able to identify which of those processes that you got are on time and which of them are overdue. You will be able to identify the process or the work that is in progress, right? And something amazing is that you will be able to even to see from all the cases that you have in this moment, how many of them will get overdue on the next following day. So in this way, I can start taking actions. So if I know that tomorrow, right, I'm going to have 2 cases overdue, I will need to see what is happening. Do I have to reassign? Do I need to get more attention? Do I need to put higher priority to this? I need to define what is going to be here. Now, if I go and I move to the analytics one, analytics is information about cases that are already closed. So everything that has already passed through all the steps of the process and we were able to finish successfully. So if I go and see information about the process, for example, here, I am going to be able to just go directly and start seeing different reports. For first one, cycle time. So from all the cases that has been completed so far, what is the average time that I take, right? Or that it took me to go directly and to complete one case, right? So I say, hey, in days, you are taking in average, 1 day to complete one case. And at the beginning, you expect like the initial date or the initial value that you just added was 2.5. So that means you are doing an excellent job. But if that was not the case, if at the beginning you say, my expectation is 2.5 days and I am expending now 5, then you need to start seeing what is happening. And that is where all the other tools or all the other paths, all the other reports will help you. I will be able to see an histogram of durations. I will be able to see from all the different processes, and I like this report a lot, right? The trending. So in the last couple of days, how many cases has been created? This will allow you to identify high peaks in your operation. So if I am operating a company and I know that at the end of the month, I always have a high peak of demand and I have a lot of requests, then I know that I have this information available for me. I can communicate it to the company. I have a better visibility and I am able to make a better decision as, for example, reorganize my resources for that period of time. One last report that I want to show here that I like a lot is this one that is called frequent paths. And again, this one is going to show you from all the processes that has been completed so far, which are the most popular frequent paths that the process took. And this is amazing because this allow you to understand the nature of your business. This allow you to know how are you dealing with your customer, which are the paths that you are taking, and even to reorganize better your resources. So in this example, and I want to show you just this one, 48.5% of all the cases are being completed taking this path. Which one? A path where I register a client, then I register a product, then I define that I don't need any additional analysis, and I just go straightforward to deliver the products. So what can we infer from this? I don't know, if at the beginning, for example, in your planning, you thought that most of the cases or almost all the cases will require an additional analysis, and you include or you put there more resources here in this point, then you just saw that was a maybe bad decision. And I cannot leave many or multiple resources in the analysis because now the 48% of all my cases are getting directly without having an analysis. So maybe I can reorganize resources and put it over there. So all of these are reports that are ready to use, out of the box, real-time information, and you don't have to do anything. Now, the second feature that we talk about, and that is the new feature that I want to present to you, are the ones that are called the runtime entities. So runtime entities, I told you, is going to be a whole new category inside of our entities. So if I am in my Bizagi studio, that is where I am automating my processes, I go to the entities, I am going to be able to see a new section called runtime, and from here, all the different options that I have. All these entities has already attributes and has already collection or relationship with other entities. You cannot modify them. These are read-only entities. You cannot write or you cannot modify anything at all. But it provides really useful information as what? In this simple example as case info, you will have information about the case number, the creator user, the ID of the case, the process name. And one amazing thing about these entities is that, again, if you want to use them in different steps of your processes, you will be able to do it. I'm going to show you here just one example, and is if I am in the creation of one of my forms, right? Once that I get inside of the form editor, I have now the opportunity to find this new whole section. That is a new node in the creation that is going to be called case. And from here, I am going to find absolutely all the different attributes of my runtime entities that we got. If you take a look here, these are going to be read-only entities, and I am not going to be able to modify anything of them. And one of the great, amazing things about these runtime entities is that if we combine these runtime entities, new feature that we got, with other ones that we already have in our product, we will be able to create amazing things. Like what? In Bizagi, we have something called business insights. Business insights is the way on how you can extract data from the execution of your processes and put it in simple tables stored in the cloud. This is going to take out all the complexity of the information that is being stored maybe in databases and just leave it in simple or plain tables. And once that you got basically data sets, you will be able to define the columns that you want there. So this is a data set that I already have created. So I am having as columns the ID case, the case number, information also about the client, so client name, the age, loan type, amongst others. And what I can do is that if I have this data set ready, I can download a connector to include it in my project In that way, every single time that a new case, a new loan request is created, the information will be taken directly from your Bizagi product to the dataset. And now you were thinking like, okay, Kevin, but then what I can do with that dataset? Then I can use external tools, as for example, Power BI or even Tableau, and create amazing dashboards using this data. As which one? As the one that you are seeing here. This is a Power BI report that we create using the information that is being stored in our dataset. And these are going to be reports that then I can start playing with that, playing with the filters. If I want to see just this information, if I want to see the other one, if I want just to change something from this part, I can start playing with this. So now the creation of the reports will be much easier and you will get the data in a simple way. To finish our session and just go really quickly to the question part, I just want that you have these 3 takeaways of this session. So first one, the door is open. Join our citizen developer revolution. This is something that it will get so much attention, that it is going to grow, and we are working so hard to help you to have this citizen developer revolution inside of your company. As you see, there is not only one, we have a full spectrum of citizen developers, and we need to understand each of them and grow each of them. The information is ready to you for the citizen specialist and the citizen reporting. So these users that has this expertise of handling data and creating reports, we are providing now the data for them. How? Using the out-of-the-box reports, and now with this new amazing feature that are our runtime entities. And finally, reports and runtime entities democratize reporting in your company. We're taking all that complexity of creating a report, doing queries or joins or selects, where from, all of that we're taking out, and now we're just putting the information in the report and in the runtime entities, so we democratize reporting.